Yeah, recording started. You can start. Over to you, JK, and your team.
Thank you, Surinder ji. Janil, Kalpesh, you guys will be sharing the screen on the PPT?
Yeah, so Kalpesh, you can share your screen.
Sure, Janelle. I think there is one more, Narmeen from Egypt would like to introduce yourself first while I'm sharing. Give me 1 minute.
Welcome, Narmeen. Very nice you have joined from Egypt. I see Ria who has completed her third year of BTech. Thank you, Ria, for joining.
Okay, guys, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, Kalpesh.
Okay, so I'm just going to go in a presentation mode.
So once again, I welcome everybody to today's session. So it is the admin series, the very first session one. It is about Salesforce ecosystem, org basics, and data modeling. Next slide. So we are having two speakers today, who is Kalpesh and Chandan, who will soon introduce themselves. And this is the admin team, myself, Janil and Smita. You can connect to us on LinkedIn and follow us on Trailhead also. Okay. So coming to Trail Guild. So Trail Guild is actually a community-led Salesforce learning initiative. I think I'm being echoed.
Janani, would you like to move on to the next slide, please?
No, Kalpesh, I think you need to unmute, I think. My voice is like being echoed.
I am unmuted.
Okay, mute yourself.
Mute yourself, Kalpesh.
Okay. Seems like we are all good. Let's get started with today's session. So Trail Guild. Trail Guild is actually a community-led Salesforce learning initiative focused on mentorship, knowledge sharing, career growth, and practical hands-on learning. Our mission is to help trailblazers grow together by learning from one another through sessions on Salesforce admin, development, Agentforce, data cloud, AI, architecture, and other Salesforce technologies. We believe that learning is more impactful when it is collaborative, supportive, and driven by the community. So regarding the program, it is on every Monday and Friday, the admin sessions. We also have the developer sessions. So any doubts, you can immediately Slack us in the Slack, you can ping us in the Slack workspace. We are always available. All our admins, our developer team, everyone is available. And we will keep you updated in the Slack workspace. So make sure you are, logged in into the Slack workspace frequently so that you get all the updates. You can move to the next slide, Kalpesh. So our special thanks to our founder. Shifali is the one who initiated this community. So Trailgate is actually from Shifali's hard work. Through her intentions, her good motives, that is how all these speakers who are who are working professionally. They are all together to build and give up something back to the community. Thank you, Shifali. And I would like to thank all the speakers also who have put so much efforts. Thank you, guys. Next slide. These are all our speakers. Surendra Singh, Kalpesh, Janil, Shivam, myself, Janani, Chandan, Smita, Ritik, Varshipriya, Kevin. I'll hand over the session to Kalpesh. He'll be walking you through the Salesforce ecosystem.
Okay, thanks, Janani, for introduction. So let me go ahead and get started with the Salesforce ecosystem brief overview. Do you still see my screen?
Yes, Kalpesh, we do.
Okay, good. So I'll get started with the brief introduction about the Salesforce to begin with, and this is something. Salesforce is a CRM and a cloud computing platform where we basically aim for customer relationship management. And when I say customer relationship management, is basically a model where we are managing the company's interaction with the current and the future customer. It involves using the technology to organize, automate, and synchronize the sales, marketing, customer service, and technical support. Cloud computing is basically the use of computing resources, hardware, and software that are delivered as a service over the network, typically over the internet. So this is the platform where you guys can, don't have to do the old style of client and server model. This is more like cloud computing platform where you log into the Salesforce and perform your executions using the automations and then interact with the customers through the different channels also on the Salesforce. So you can build your own applications, and we will walk you through all those setup, how you can automate the functionalities also in Salesforce. Okay. So this is a couple of YouTube links which will guide you through the how to get started with the cloud computing and Salesforce revolution and basically your career. So these are the couple of slides in one of our team member has prepared. And on this corner, if you see what is cloud computing, that means like this is the multi-tenant environment where the organization will share the infrastructure. That means there will be different customers having the shared space, but the data is secured through the security model and controlled through the different security aspects, which we will give you the walk through the further sessions. And data will not be visible of one customer to another. So you do see this is a simple structure where you see the cloud and multiple computers, which are basically representing a customer, and they will have they are representing the clients, and their customers will be interacting to those clients through the cloud infrastructure, and they will basically log into the Salesforce and gather all the information securely. Okay. So we will share this information with you also after this session, and you can review these YouTube links to learn more further. Okay. Moving on to the next slide is the key definition. So when we say a CRM, this is, like I said, it's a customer relationship management, a system to manage all interactions with the customers. In typical IT organization, we have the ERP, CRM, and SCM main modules. This cloud computing platform is more on the CRM platform. Like We do more customer relationship management. And the next is the cloud computing, where the software is delivered over the internet, no installation required. That means basically you just log into the browser using Salesforce credentials, and then you can develop your application through developer console using your setup out of the box flows or through the Visual Studio Code, which will be more like a programming and other aspects like will be guided through developer sessions as well. So that's about the cloud computing. And SaaS is the short form of the software as a service, where you pay a subscription, use the software, and Salesforce handles the rest. So basically, Salesforce is a company has taken care of everything, managing the data, but what they are giving like a services as a paid subscription. Each user will need a license to access the Salesforce, and they can review the data of the customer based on their security model. So, and of course, they can develop the applications as well on the Salesforce. Salesforce platform is the foundation on which the businesses can be built with their own custom applications. So let's say today we have the applications and you have to build it more in advance, like a web page, or gather more information from the billing team, shipping team, and consolidate all together. You can build your own application in Salesforce. This is a brief comparison before Salesforce and after. You can see like there will be an Excel spreadsheets. In old generations, they used to compute using Excel formulas, and they used to have a lot of sticky notes, no follow-up tracking and all. Email threads were there, and it's more time consuming. But after Salesforce, it's all of these are in one single platform where you can have the global search features, and you can search all across the platform what you are looking for. And there will be a real-time data changes. You don't have to wait overnight to get the latest data. There are no manual updates. All real-time updates, you can get it in a minutes. There are automations are there where you can save few data, and the rest of the data in the child records will get populated automatically. That type of automation also there in Salesforce. And the last but not the least is a 360-degree customer view. In old tradition, they used to log into multiple systems. Like every system will have their different username and passwords. That is no longer required because Salesforce is taking care of all the customer 360-degree view in single instance, and you can review all the information in single view. Moving on to the campaign and lead management. A campaign is basically an outbound marketing project that you want to plan, manage, and track in Salesforce. It can be a direct mail program, seminar, print advertisement, email, or other type of marketing initiative. So the Salesforce is basically where you're selling the products. They are making it easier way to sell the products. So by promoting your products, so that is promotion will be product is called as a campaign, where you can go and represent your products in one single seminar, and a group of people will be joining your seminar virtually or in person, and then you can advertise your product, and maybe you will generate the leads, like some people are interested to learn more, get a demo of the product, and that's how the sales lifecycle kicks out in Salesforce. Yeah, that's about the campaign. And the leads are basically any lead. Let's say if a prospect or the potential opportunity, so a person you met at a conference who expressed interest in our company's product and the services, or someone who filled out a form on the company website. So let's say if you say like, I'm interested in buying a simple Apple MacBook, you are becoming a lead for an Apple company because you are interested in their products, right? That's how the simple example. Account management, this is at organization level, where accounts are organizations' customers, competitors, and partners. Each account stores information such as name, address, billing, shipping, phone numbers, everything. For each account, we can store related information such as opportunities, activities, cases, partners, contracts, and notes. So let's say that was previous Apple MacBook was a single requirement was a residential, sorry, single customer, let's say individual. But when it's a company, and let's say you're setting up a company, you need like 100 laptops, or let's say 100 desktops. You have the basically an organization for which then you will be becoming a customer account for that particular company. And you will have your own billing address, own shipping address, and all those details, right? So that is will be all acquired in single record in Salesforce that we call it as an account, customer account. Contact management is like contacts are all of the individuals who associated with the business accounts. We need to track in Salesforce. So we can store the various information such as a contact, such as a phone numbers, addresses, titles, roles in deal. There will be an account manager, there will be a sales manager, for example, or there will be a sales lead or a service representative. All these are the team members belonging to that account will be the, becomes as a contacts. That is more on the commercial side. And more on the consumer side, the contacts will be more who are customer facing and going in field and representing them. They can share their phone numbers, addresses as well. Okay. Opportunity and pipeline management will be from here. I think, Chandan, would you be able to take it from here?
Yeah, sure, Kalpesh.
Okay, I'll continue sharing. Just let me know. I'll move on to the next slide. Okay.
Yeah, please move to the next slide. So I'll just brief this in the next slide itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, what we understand about the Salesforce. So whenever we say Salesforce, don't think it's only about a CRM, and think it's as a full business platform. Wow. Okay. So in that case, Salesforce is not just a single product. It is a complete ecosystem with multiple clouds. So multiple clouds in the sense we will be delivering, or the Salesforce will be delivering or solving multiple business problems. For example, so let's take, there is a sales team. So what's the sales team agenda is? So they manage leads and deals, which means whenever there is an interest showed by a customer, he'll be set as a deal, like lead. And then leads, it will be converted to an contact, and then the contact will be converted to an accounts and an opportunity. And that's how the sales cloud works. And we do have one more where we purchase the product. And whenever we purchase a product, there will be an issue, right? For example, we go to Flipkart, we purchase a product item from there. So product won't get delivered, and there will be a delay in the delivery, right? So in that stage, what exactly the code come in? Like, it is a service cloud, which means whenever there is an query or an issue which customer is facing, so those issues or an query will be stored, and then that will be like solved, managed customer issues in the service cloud. So what exactly managed like marketing cloud is? So marketing cloud is nothing but, let's imagine in next 2 weeks, Apple is launching the new phone, right? So 18 Pro Max. So they need to market it. So how do they market it? They will be sending out an emails, a campaign email. And, they're going to market in their, advertise in their websites, Google websites. So these are something that marketing people does. So which means the marketing agencies or a marketing team would use a marketing cloud. Similarly, sales, like I said, the single platform which delivers multiple scenarios and solves our problem there. So one single problem there. So one platform which delivers all the abilities and solves all the problems that we are facing in the current environment. So it's all not about like sales, service, experience, or marketing, something like that. The health cloud, health cloud is nothing but hospitals. This financial cloud for banking and insurance. Non-profit cloud, whenever we have an non-profit agency. For example, recently in Bangalore, they organized 15 lakh plantation, right? So from BDA. So we volunteer it. So we need to have a platform where user can come in, register themselves. If there is a donation, they can give it. So it's like a charity based cloud. So not only with that, we can also build a customized app also. Let's imagine you are in a separate automobile field and you have a separate data module there, and Salesforce allow you to create your own product there, which means own design within the Salesforce too. Kalpesh, next slide, please. So the bottom line is the Salesforce is a single product which delivers multiple benefits. So like Kalpesh shared, Salesforce is an SaaS, right? So what exactly mean by SaaS? So SaaS is nothing but a product which was developed by us, like a developers, right? And we do give a service to use them, which means we develop it and we give a small login credentials. We give them a small login credentials, and they start using those login credentials to log in our product, and they use all our functionalities in there, which are pre-designed everything. And in one click, in one day, they can start using it, right? So when it goes to a Salesforce edition, Salesforce give us multiple editions, which means, for example, so if there is a small team of 5 and they want to use a Salesforce, and they will be using an professional or a fast one, essential, right? So what exactly it means? So it gives an ability to a small team to work within the Salesforce environment with a basic features, not an like overall Salesforce features that currently we have. There is a limitation with that thing. The full CRM or customizations are not can be done there with an professional thing. Like multiple flows cannot be like, in the professional environment, we cannot create too much of flow, something like that. So there will be a limitation. Let's imagine there is a company, like let's take a Flipkart itself. So they have like thousands of employees and they would like to use the Salesforce. They go with an enterprise or an unlimited thing like edition, which means where Salesforce give you a product and give all the functionalities they have, advanced automation, everything, API access, everything they have. So as a consumer, so I will be, developing my own code there. If there are any required, like customization is required, we have an ability to build our custom codes, custom logics, and custom objects too. That's how an enterprise and unlimited works. Yeah, Amit.
Yeah, I'm saying that if someone wants to join via the link, but is unable to join, says the admin wants to apply to allow this for admin side. So actually,
Sorry, what it is?
hello, I'm
Yeah,
audible
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that someone wants to connect with you.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take care of that. Please continue, Chandra.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Amit. So if it is a developer edition, what exactly developer edition does? So developer edition give you an ability to learn, build your own features, and develop your like custom logics, everything, and then you can test them here and then deploy it to and sandbox then the production too. that's where the developer editions comes in. So developer edition is free for use, and you can use that developer edition for your learning purpose. Next slide, please, Kalpesh.
Chandan, can we pause in here, check with
Sure.
audience, like if they have any questions meanwhile? The
Sure.
examples which you said were like very informative, Chandan.
Yeah, thank you. So
The
any
rest
questions,
you
guys?
have, yeah, any questions so far? All good? Thank you, then we'll continue.
Okay, thank you, JK. So let's go with an Salesforce platform. How exactly it works? So like I said, let me share my screen. Kalpesh, let me see. I can share my screen. I just want to walk through it.
Yeah, I have stopped sharing. You can proceed.
Yeah, thank you. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we do see the screen.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. So here, what exactly the navigation means? So it's nothing but, like I said, Salesforce provides a multiple clouds like platform. And if you want to go switch between the platform, here's where we'll be doing it. The 9 dots. This is called App Launcher. And this gives you an ability switch between the clouds, which means switch between the instances which we have created here. So currently I'm in Sales Cloud. And if I want to change to a marketing, we just click on the marketing CRM classic. So this gives an ability to switch between the clouds or between the platform that we are using. That's how it works. And where exactly the admin part come here? So the admin part or an administrator role comes under setup. Let's call it as an admin control unit or control center, where we will be creating an object. Just a second, let this load. Yeah, where we will be creating an object or a field. Like, when we navigate through this, we can create a field. We can see what are the relations between the fields. And moreover, we can do custom configurations, something like building a flow or creating a user or creating a profile, roles, security settings, much more we can do it here, right? And that's how the Salesforce gives an ability to make this work, which means the App Launcher provides you to access between the apps, and the setup is where you will be configuring it and managing the Salesforce instance, right? So any questions on this?
Sir, like app launcher, it means like a developer edition and services like content, and this is everything in this is like app, right?
Yes. So App Launcher is nothing but, so in a single Salesforce instance, we can have a multiple team working on that. For an example, let's take a Flipkart. So I'll take Flipkart because we all do a shopping over there, right? So that will be a good example for us. So let's take a Flipkart. So Flipkart as an organization, they have a development team, they have a sales team, they have a service team, and they have a marketing team too. Which means, so whenever I as a developer, I always use a developer edition to build a code. And that is not something that what I'll be using is, so I'll be using a setup mainly. And what I said, then admin control, right? So we will be using that phase. And when it goes to a different set of profiles, something like sales, services, or an marketing, these are the separate team or a profile would work, right? So we can create them here. Salesforce already has few predefined already. If we go to a service, so when you go to a service thing, service app, this gives you an ability to see what are the major objects that we'll be using within the service environment. For example, so what are the things we get in a service thing? Service mainly work on. So they check who is the customer is, and is stored in an, like he'll be a contact, right? So whatever the customer means is a person. The person will be stored in a contact. So what exactly the customer has purchased? For example, so let's think that I purchased an Mac from the Flipkart, MacBook from the Flipkart. So in that case, the account will be defined as an this thing like Apple. So that's the reason we have an account, contact, and if you have any issue with my delivery or an item that been purchased by me, those things are treated as a ticket and that will be stored in a contact. So in the bottom line, so what exactly app means? So it gives an ability or a group of objects or a group of collection of objects or a collection of storages, right? Where we'll be using those terms like service or sales or marketing. So is it, did I answer to your
Yes,
question?
sir. Yes, sir. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So let me ask you a small example then.
There was
So
one.
where do we create a new field then? So
Hello?
where exactly is the new field going?
Chandan, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. There was
Sure.
one hand by some person. Is she
Okay,
available
sorry.
here?
Yes, it was me. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the opportunity. I wanted to ask, what is the difference between a cloud and an app? Because you said on those 9 dots, we access the cloud. What's the difference between the two?
Okay. So cloud and the app is look similar, but ideally not. Let's take an example with the service and then custom app. So cloud gives you like when you go to a cloud, like let's take a service cloud. So when you go to a service cloud, so cloud is where will be all the logics, which means what are the steps that need to be performed, what are the actions that need to be done, what are the like logics that are predefined or which needs to be defined later. Those things are being covered, and those items will be collected as a container and will be providing them as a cloud. For example, like I said, service cloud, its main ability is to solve the customer issues. The sales cloud is nothing but this gives an ability to the company or an organization to get their customers. For example, in here, let's take, we are an organization and we do have a sales. So what exactly sales does? So we'll ask students to register them. We find them, we ask them to register them, and when they register it, so we will be more like operating them in a sales platform. And whenever there is an issue with the customer or a student, we will operate through a service platform, which means there are an predefined structured mechanism or an structured app that are collectively collected in one cloud. That's what cloud means. The custom app or an app is nothing but which will provide you an ability to create what exactly the user want to see as an user. So as a service user, I can give a constraint or a permission to use certain like functionalities, right? So as a service member, just imagine I'm just a service agent. So I need to operate only contacts cases. That's it. I don't want to have to see reports or document like dashboards or nothing like that. So I just want to need to view a few details over there, few objects over there, or a few records over there. So when you can create an app there and use them accordingly. So when we define an app, there can be a custom app or a connected app. So connected app is nothing but where we'll be connecting to an external server or an external system, third-party system. So let's imagine Flipkart using a Salesforce instance, right? So they do have their own platform too. So to make a connection between them, we use something called connected app. And we will explain that in detail in our next session too. So is my answer to you? Like, is your question answered to you by me?
Yes, answered. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So like I said, I just asked you a question. So where do we create an field or an object then? Whether on an app launcher or an setup? Anyone?
Setup.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Setup.
Yeah. Correct. So which means all the logics, backend logics are done using setup, which means a configuration or a flow or an security setup, settings, profile, creating a user object, so on. So that will be done through setup, the backend stuff. Right? So next is, so as a developer, right? As we are developer and we are admins, we are planning to do our admin certifications. We are already having certification already done, and we work on Salesforce, and we would like to deliver much more. Like we build a product and do most of the stuff, right? So how do we make those work in Salesforce, right? So that's why Salesforce don't provide an ability to create all the actions in directly production. So it gives an ability where we have 3 different types of editions or org type. One is called developer, and the other one is called sandbox. The other is called production, which means the user, as a user, I go to a developer edition, I practice, I learn, I personally develop everything, tested there, right? That's where developer org comes in. The second one would be a sandbox. What is actually sandbox does? So sandbox is nothing but it is an copy or a duplicate of your production environment. So let's imagine as a developer, I go directly to a production and start changing your code or changing configuration, right? So what happens? So if something breaks down, so it will be affecting our customers, right? So to prevent those things, Salesforce has given us an ability to create a sandbox where we will be doing our custom works there, whatever the development, configuration things, everything will be done here, company changes some company safeties, right? So we will go there and change those things in our sandbox. Once we make those changes in the sandbox, we will be testing there, and all the 3 different types of testing, UAT or something. Each team has their own sandbox name, UAT, SIT, something So we'll develop there. We will fix all the items or all the issues that we are facing in our production. Then we create a change set, or we use an visual code or Git, something like Git manipulation, Copado. We use them and we will be deploying to a production. So once everything is done, then we'll deploy to production so that the production environment won't be affected, so that the real business environment won't get affected, so that the real users can be safe from cracking the code. So is there any questions on how developer edition, sandbox edition, and production thing work?
Sir, I want to know about sandbox.
Okay.
I'm not understand sandbox.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me give you an example. So you have an mobile, right? Let's imagine we all use mobile. Okay.
Yes.
So I build an software there. So let's imagine I build a calculator software. So you're already using it.
Okay.
Just imagine you're already using it. Or a to-do. To-do means we just make an to-do list for the today. What are the items that need to be delivered today? And we will be marking them as checked, checklist. So as a product dealer or a product owner, so if I do an enhancement directly in my app, which means you already installed it, and I will be doing my development stuff directly in your production, right? At that moment, you come in, you started using your app. So what happens if that crashes off? We see most of the crashes in the production too. That is because some exception. But I'm telling, like, you develop directly in your production. So you have a customer who is already using it. So they will have a problem with it. So because the product, like, software will start crashing, it will not working, and we lose trust over there, right? So to avoid that, Salesforce has provided us a sandbox environment, which means we develop in a sandbox whatever the custom work, what are the enhancement, what are the bugs we previously had. Those items will be fixed in our sandbox first, tested there, and then we will move it to a production where the real user should not be affected. So any changes that we make, real user cannot be affected. Is it okay? Did I answer your
Okay, sir.
question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, where exactly real business go in? So real business data are stored in?
It means, sir, like sandbox. It means like we can say like it is a storage like that, right?
No, it's a copy, not a storage. It's a copy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, sir.
So yeah. So in that case, a small question for you guys: in which contains a real data, real business data? Is this a developer edition, or a sandbox edition, or a production edition?
Production edition.
Production edition.
Correct. Right. So the real data will be in a production edition. Even the sandbox do. If we have a full sandbox, we can copy a full real data to a sandbox, but whatever the changes that you make on the sandbox won't get affected or won't get copied to your production. Okay. So let me brief this. Okay, when we go to a sandbox, let me stop sharing it. Kalpesh, could you please share your screen? So,
Yeah, sure.
like I said, Salesforce provide us a type of sandbox. To brief your question, so Salesforce provide us type of sandbox. It can be a developer sandbox, a developer pro sandbox, a partial copy sandbox, and then full copy sandbox. There are 4 different types of sandboxes. So one is developer sandbox, which mainly concentrated on configuration and development, which gives an ability to refresh within a day, which means every day it gets refreshed, and we will be developing a small set of configuration or development over there and push it to a next stage. Right? It has a small memory space to make those changes. So there's like, if you want to add a new feed, or if you want to make a small flow. So these little configuration can be handled in a developer sandbox. And what developers pro does, it does the same thing, but it gives you a more storage, which means, let's take an example. Developer sandbox give you an 5 MB data, like storage space, and pro gives you an 1 GB storage space. I'm just telling an example, but I don't know what exactly the memory storage would be. Sorry for that. And practical copy sandbox give you an ability to do additional configuration with sample production data. It won't has full data, but it will take a few contents, what are the important are, and it gives you ability to select what are the fields and what are the objects that you want to, and those will be copied to a sandbox. There you can do your custom work, development work, what are the steps you want to do it. So we will be doing it in partial sandbox, which gives the simple line. It has more memory space, but a small amount of data. And let's imagine we have an customer like Flipkart. They are like, operate a big business process. So in that case, so we need to have a where we'll be having all the production data need to be copied to a sandbox. We do a full round of testing, complete round of testing, final testing, and what are the implementation that we've done in 3 different sandbox need to be moved, right? That needs to be tested in an real data, right? So that is where the full sandbox come in. Okay. So this is bottom line is Salesforce provides us 4 different types of sandbox. One is an developer. The second one is a developer pro. Third is a partial copy, and the fourth is a full. So in this case, I'll ask you a simple question: to which sandbox is the best for final user acceptance testing is done? So which means when we want to move to a production, which sandbox will be using there?
Full sandbox.
I think developer full sandbox.
Yeah, correct. So the full why are we using full sandbox here?
Because it refresh frequency 29 days and best for util panel testing, maybe.
Perfect. Which means the full sandbox has real data, of data. Right? It will be easier for the business people to test it. Okay. And now let me introduce you to an trial.
Chandan, regarding this refresh frequency on the sandbox, is
Yeah.
it done automatically, or should the admin go manually do the refresh?
So it can be done in 2 ways too. So one, you can create an scheduler to make those refreshment. So you can predefine there, setting up change the refresh sandbox until we manually trigger it, or change every 15 days, or change every 30 days. So we can, as an admin, I can set those items there.
Nice. Thank you, Chandan.
Yeah. So now let's move into a trial. What exactly trial means? So trial is nothing but Salesforce provides you an platform where you can learn our Salesforce skills from beginner, from zero to something professional. Like even my journey started from zero to something currently right now. So everyone cannot have their experienced or already know some concept of Salesforce. So to make those items easier to earn beginners or easier to earn already existing professionals to learn new things, Salesforce has a platform called Trallet. I think you guys already signed up there. You have your own profiles, right? So bottom line is we go there. If someone wants to learn Salesforce administrator, they go search for admin beginner and start working on those trials modules or something like that. And if I'm who knows something about Salesforce, has experience to Apex, but I want to learn something regarding LWCs or data cloud, right? So instead of asking someone to teach us, or Google it or something like that. Salesforce has its own platform where you can register there, be an member to that or a user to that, and start learning each trials. So there you'll get a small idea about how exactly the Salesforce does. The simple example would be, like I said, if you want to learn and something about administration, there is a trial called Admin Beginner. So I think you should start working on that one too. Like we teach, we'll be teaching on you in each scenarios and each logics and each configuration items. Please do your homework whenever we finish our sessions too. So let me show how exactly the profile looks like. Sorry. Am I sharing my screen? No, right?
No, you are not sharing. Kalpesh is
Kalpesh, can I?
Yeah, Chandan, would you like to share?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So for example, this is my profile. So I know I have not earned much badges here. Let me brief in here. So how exactly the profile looks like. So whenever you complete a badge or a trial, so what exactly trial means? So in learning, so here only, right? Okay. In learning, we have something called trials. What exactly trial means? So trial is nothing but where a small module or a small logics or a small chapter, we will be delivering it. We will be learning about that. And we do have something called unit. Each trial will contain multiple unit. Each topics are treated as unit. And once you finish those so the trial get completed. So multiple trials gives you an ability as a module. So which means when you want to learn something about data module, so we have an data module trial. So each multiple trials will be completing it. Like I said, a small chapter of 3 will make you will give you an ability to it's like treated as a trial. So multiple trials is treated as an module, right? So whenever you complete your trials, you will be earning your badges. Likewise with the modules too. So I think you already know these things, and I don't want to waste your time like explaining those terms. So let's go with the questions now. I'll just stop sharing it. Janil or Kalpesh, could you please share your screen and ask questions for the users?
Yes, I'm sharing. Janil, please go ahead.
Hi, this is Smita. Can you hear me clear and loud?
Yes, Smita.
So before we begin, I'd like to thank our previous speakers, Kalpesh and Chandan, for the excellent introduction to Salesforce. You explained the concepts in a simple and beginner-friendly way, making them easy to understand. Thank you for setting a great foundation for today's quiz. Now let's have some fun and test our knowledge with the Salesforce admin quiz. So let's get started. Yeah. So you all can answer in the chat. What does CRM stand for? Yes, the answer is A, customer relationship management. Next, Which Salesforce architecture principle means multiple companies share the same infrastructure but cannot see each other's data? Yes, the answer is B, multi-tenant architecture. Next question. A Salesforce developer org requires a paid subscription to use? No, it is free, so the answer is false. Next. Which Salesforce product would you use to manage customer support cases and service tickets? Most of them answered correct, Service Cloud. Next question. What does the sandbox org represents? C is the correct answer, testing org. Next.
This one was a little tricky, Smita, if I can answer a little more elaborated way.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the dev org normally developers use for, developing the code, configuration, customization. Demo is done in UAT environment, also known as full sandbox, SIT. Many companies has different terminologies. Testing is done in the QA, which is also a developer org. And sometimes we do regression testing, like large set of data. So it does has multiple answers, but you guys are getting there. Like testing is the main functionality for the sandbox orgs, but they do use for dev and demos also. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Smita.
Yes.
So someone is asking, please explain demo.
Yeah, demo org is something most of the companies has an agile methodology where every 2 weeks we have to give the demo on what we have developed, new features. So business stakeholders will join that meeting, and each developer is responsible to give the demo on what functionality they have developed, and they will walk them through in UAT, like a sales representative if he goes to this particular website, and how they will answer the customer calls and how they will give that particular demo is done in the UAT org. Does it answer your question? Okay.
Next
And
slide.
please feel free to add your questions in the Slack channel also, so that way, if we have more specific questions, we will answer them in the next session or prepare specific topics on that slides as well. Okay. Go ahead, Smita.
Yeah, thanks, Kalpesh. Can you move to the next slide? Next slide. When Salesforce releases a new update 3 times per year, what happens to your custom configurations? Yes, the answer is B. They are preserved because they are stored as metadata. Next question, please. Which of the following is not a type of Salesforce sandbox? C is the correct answer, production sandbox. We have production org as explained previously.
Sorry to interrupt, Smita. Someone was asking what is metadata, and I would like to request Kalpesh to answer along with the explaining what is multi-tenant architecture, because we had multi-tenant architecture in question 2 as an answer, but it might be something like they don't know in detail.
Sure. So uh, what was metadata, right? Yeah. So metadata is something where we store the information. Let's say if you do the configuration of a validation rule, simple. If the billing address is entered, then billing zip code should not exceed more than 5 characters in USA country. Then that particular logic, business logic, is stored as a metadata in the backend of the Salesforce, and developers and admins can access to that. But the business users and the sales representative will not be able to have access to metadata. That is something managed at the org level, and developers and admins are responsible to handle that logic. And multi-tenant architecture is where multiple customers share the same infrastructure. When we say same infrastructure, in the software language, they have the same org instance, but data of customer A is not visible to customer B due to security protocols, and they handle this through the what do you call org ID. Each Salesforce has an org ID where they are authenticating through the specific security channels. So Janani and Chandan, if you have additional details about the multi-tenant, please go ahead and talk about that.
It seems like you have already covered very good, Kalpesh. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll take a separate session.
Yes.
Like in short, I would like to add for multi-tenant.
Sure,
Like,
Smita, go ahead.
yeah. Like usually in a building, there are different apartments, like different owners of the apartments, and like each owner has access to their apartment, and like another owner of another apartment cannot access another person's flat. So like there is security, and like there is infrastructure shared by different people in the building, and they have their own securities that other person can't access theirs. So it is the same way that we do in Salesforce. Like each company has their own access and profiles and users that another company can't see.
Yes, that is correct. Like a different profiles in org, salesperson cannot see the service person's data, and moreover, sales leader will walk you through the profiles, roles, permission set, how they will handle it more in detail in the few further sessions. Where in brief, I can say like a sales manager can see their subordinates data, right? But let's say subordinate A cannot see the subordinate B's data because they are like, maybe the competitors, and they have the bylaws. They are not supposed to see each other's data. It's like that. Does this answer your question? Okay. Yeah, Smita, would you like to add more?
Nothing.
Okay. Shall I move to next question?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So this doesn't have any option, failure awards or dash when you complete a module. So you can. Yes, badge is the correct answer. In your own words, explain the difference between a production org and a developer org.
If you would like to speak, please feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and answer the question. Yes, Amit.
Yeah, so production org is basically the live sales environment where company is used to their day-to-day business operations, right? And the developer org basically the also the learning and development for user testing and building this kind of contains a sample data or something that this kind of.
Yes, that is correct. So production is a live environment where we have all the data, and we should not make the changes to that data without prior authorization. That is a key factor because it may impact customer services, and it could result into any other further issues. Developer org, where you can do the testing, demo, coding, configuration, and work with your coworkers, explore features like that. Yeah, Pawan, go ahead.
Sir, as per like my understand, like the production org is used like real business work, like storage actual customer data, and developer org like we are when we are learning in Salesforce, that is called like developer org, like building the new features and like that.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Some of you has answered correctly. Some of you are saying production org is testing, but it's not for testing. This is a live data where of the customer. So we use the sandboxes for testing, for building and code and all that. Okay, shall we move on, Smita? Next question.
Yes, I think this was the last one.
Okay, so yeah, Janil or Smita, you can just talk about it.
Just a recap of today's session. Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM platform with multiple product clouds, and multi-tenancy means shared infrastructure with full data isolation, as we spoke about it.
Yeah.
Metadata-driven architecture means your configurations survive every upgrade.
Smita, sorry to interrupt you. I would like to explain multi-tenant architecture with more details as well. So
Yeah, go ahead.
the platform on which we are connected today is Google Meet, right? Google Meet is one single platform where multiple meetings are going on in live real life. So it is also one of the example of multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy basically is exactly what you said with that flat apartment example. And when we talk about systems, where we have one platform which is shared among different customers. So customers are the tenants. Tenants basically someone who has rented one resource, one space or something. They don't own, like they are not the direct owner, but they have rented it for particular amount, particular time. So they have resources shared among them, and the fact we actually have governor limits in Salesforce so that no other tenant can actually access or pull up all the resources Salesforce have. We have data isolation as it is written over here. Data isolation means every tenant data is kept secret, and they have their own tenant IDs or separate isolated whole data models. So they all are having their business run on salesforce.com, but they all have Like they all have their own org instance. We are saying production over here, right? They all can configure, customize according to their business model. And yeah, it is cost efficient, easier to maintain, and obviously scalable. We can scale it according to the business growth, because we are not restricting it to particular amount of resources. Yeah, that's it for that multi-tenant architecture.
Thanks, Chanel. Then, if you all have any queries after for today's session, if anybody has any queries, you can ask. Or else we can.
So, guys,
Yeah.
before we end the session, I would like to share something.
Sure, Surinderji, I will stop sharing.
So, if you are in and around Jaipur, so we have this event Bharat Dreaming on 10th. There are 2 days. This is actually a single day event, but I think I should stop the recording for this one now.